All right, man. So, yesterday the Memphis Grizzlies just got eliminated, but they have been the most surprising team this season. So, I decided to drop a video about their future, man, because out of all young teams, they probably have the brightest future. One, because they have one of the brightest stars in the league in Jaren Morant, who's a superstar already. He's a superstar. I think we have to give him that title. He is a superstar, a top 15 player, one of the best leaders we have in this league, in his third year in the league. So, let's get straight into this video. Like I said, start off with Jaren Morant. Most improved player, I think he deserved it. I think it was by far. I know people saying, oh, he's the number 2 overall pick. Of course, he's going to improve. I understand that, but it's been a lot of most improved players that were lottery picks. Victor Oladipo, Paul George, CJ McCollum, I think, was a lottery pick. Like, it happened before. It really did. So, we got to keep that same energy with Ja. I don't think anybody expected Ja to jump up 27 points this season. Like, in my preseason awards or preseason Western Conference rankings, I had this team falling because I was like, man, losing Jonas Valanciunas, their best scorer of last year, that's going to be a hard loss. And I don't see anybody stepping it up that big for them to make a playoff run. So I had them as like the 10th seed. I had them still in the play-in. But I didn't have them this high. I didn't have them at 2. And that's partially because I didn't expect anybody else to jump up that big. Jaren Morant went from 19 points to 27 points that quick. That quick. Led the league in paint points as a point guard. That is impressive. Really impressive. He kind of took a step back with his playmaking because he had to take a step forward with his scoring. But he's still one of the best playmakers we have in this league, man. And I have to give him that respect, man. This is one of the best guards we have in this league. Damn near top 5 point guard in the league. And he showed it this season. The leader of this team, bright future. And I'm not going to lie. For next year, I have him not winning the MVP, but I definitely have him finishing top 3 if he can build off this year. I don't think this is a fluke season like we've seen from the Knicks. I don't think that's what this is. Maybe they won't be a second seed next year because the West is getting better and better. The Lakers, we don't know with them, but we do know Kawhi's coming back, Paul George coming back, Zion's coming back. So I don't know if there'll still be a second seed, but I still think with Ja Morant, I think he will improve again, and I just think this team is dangerous. This is a dangerous team. And then we go down to his counterparts, man, Desmond Bane. He even had an argument. He should have been most improved player. Jumping up from 9 points to 17 points. I don't even think I think he averaged 8, and he averaged 17 points this season. I think they have a solidified backcourt in the league for the future. Like I said, Ja Morant, superstar. Dillon Brooks, a perfect player to put next to Ja Morant, a player that can play all ball but also get his buckets. You've seen what he did last year, was getting his buckets from all 3 levels. Something I didn't think he can do going into the season. He was hooping yesterday. So I think they have a really good set backcourt. Desmond Bane is one of the best catch and shoot guys we have in this league, and that's a perfect piece you want to have next to Ja, who draws a lot of attention, and he's also a really good passer, so he's going to find you. So I think they have their backcourt. Now this where it kind of gets iffy. I'm not the biggest Dillon Brooks guy, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know that. As far as being a fan of the guy, as not the player, as a guy, I'm not a big Dillon Brooks guy. I'm not going to lie. And with this team, I think they have so much depth, especially at that position. They drafted Zaire Williams at, 11? He's had a better season than Dillon Brooks. Yes, Dillon Brooks missed a lot of the season. But even in the playoffs, I think Zaire Williams had a way better playoffs than Dillon Brooks. He had that one good game yesterday. But it really didn't do nothing. It really wasn't that impactful, man. Zaire Williams has won this team some games. I believe Game 2, he hit 3 costly threes against the Warriors that all of a sudden just helped the Grizzlies win that game. Same thing in the Timberwolves series. He was hitting his threes all series. I think they should look forward to making him the starter, trying to get off that contract of Dillon Brooks, because I believe Dillon Brooks is making like $15 million. If you make Zaire Williams a starter, breed him into that player you thought he was going to be, picking him at the 10th overall pick or 11th overall pick, I like that more for the future of this Memphis Grizzlies team. Zaire Williams already a really good catch and shooter. He came into college being a really good on-ball scorer. He was a decent on-ball scorer in college. Now going into the league, he's in a role right now, but I want to see him expand that role. I want to see him beyond that role because I know he can do it. Like, a lot of people compared him to a Paul George coming out of high school. And you see it, man. The kid is really talented at that height. So, hopefully they can look into that. And then this where really, really gets fishy. We all see Jaren Jackson has the talent. Like, we seen, what was it, game 1 where he dropped 33 points. He has the talent. But we also seen in the whole first round that the IQ is just not there for a 4-year player. It's not there where you want it to be at, because you look at Jaren Jackson, 7 foot, dynamic big. You want him to play the center position, but he can't because, like I said, the IQ is not there. He fouls out so easily. He makes a lot of dumb decisions, a lot of forced shots, and then on the defensive side, like I said, he fouls really quick. Really quick. It was some games in the first series where he fouled out in the first minute of the fourth quarter. That's how many fouls he had going into the fourth quarter. He fouled out at least 4 times this whole playoffs. That's terrible. And then when you face a team like a Minnesota Timberwolves or a Denver Nuggets, you can't have a guy like Steven Adams starting because he's going to get killed. The Timberwolves played that man out the series. The Nuggets would do the same thing because they have dynamic bigs. You couldn't play him out the series and this series against the Warriors because they don't have a big that's going to punish you. And then he played decent when they played small ball, though. I'm not going to lie. When they played small ball, he played pretty decent. But you can't rely on that because not every team's going to play small ball. Like, a guy like DeAndre Ayton would have his way. He would have his way with Steven Adams because Steven Adams is too slow to catch up with these young guys. But you will want Jaren Jackson to be able to fill that position, but you cannot trust him because he fouls too much. And then when it comes to being the 5, he doesn't get a lot of rebounds. His presence is not felt at all in the paint. So I don't know what they do with that. I think they have to go find a center. I think it's like a Anthony Davis thing with Jaren Jackson. You have to find a center to put next to Jaren Jackson because he's not it at that position. He's not it. And it sucks because I would love for them to roll out a Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson front court because I love that front court. But I just don't know with Jaren Jackson as a center. I asked this question on Twitter the other day. Do we think Ja Morant is a true number 1 option for a championship team? A lot of people gave me mixed feelings about that as far as like, well, look what he's doing now. I understand that. But my question is, do we think he's a true number 1 option? This is why I wanted them to pick up DeMar DeRozan in the free agency. Because I feel like when it comes to the final clutch moments, a player like that that's so versatile like that would be way better than a player like Ja Morant as far as clutch moments. Like we've seen in the clutch moments with Ja. He's normally trying to go to the paint the whole time, and he can get a lot of calls from just going to the free throw line. That's cool, but that's not gonna work all the time. So my thing is, what do they do? Do they address that and try to get somebody in free agency like not a Jeremy Grant, not saying he's the guy that's going to be closing, but take some of the pressure off of Ja Morant? Like, what do? They go out there and make a trade for a guy like a Bradley Beal just to help out the team? Because I think Desmond Bane can play the 3. He's small, but he's really strong. I think he can play the 3. Like, what do? They have a lot of avenues they can go into in the offseason this season because I think they're ready to win now. These are young guys, but these are not they're like smart young guys. Like, coming back from 20 twice in one game, that takes a lot. These are veteran-led young guys. And when you got a leader like Ja Morant, man, it's just, sky's the limit. You go to the bench, you got a guy like D'Anthony Melton. He's going to get paid this offseason, but I really like D'Anthony Melton. I did not know he could shoot like that this season. Tyus Jones, he's going to have a lot of people wanting to give him money. I don't think Tyus Jones comes back, but if he does, hey, that's the best backup point guard we have in this league. I think that's by far. Brandon Clark literally won them that first series with his offensive rebounds, his effort. He won them that first series. They got a decent rebounder / a guy that can spread the floor, and Xavier Tillman coming off the bench. They got John Conchar, who played a lot of point guard minutes when Ja Morant was out. Like, they have a deep team. But now it's time to cash in because now y'all ready to win. That deep team, that stuff is cool in the regular season when you need that deep team to like go through the regular season, especially with injuries, all that stuff. But when it comes to playoffs, man, the rotation goes from like 10, 11 to like 7, 7, 8, and if you're Nick Nurse, it goes from 5. Like, that's just how it is. So that deep team stuff is cool. When it comes down to the moments, man, that deep team stuff does not matter. So I think they need to cash in on those guys that have value, like Dylan Brooks. A lot of people don't like him. He has value, decent 3-and-D wing. If you get him under control and tell him that you're not a freaking number 1 option, that can be good for y'all. Brandon Clark, he will have a lot of people calling his phone this offseason just for what he did this playoff. Like I said, he won them this Timberwolves series just with the effort, his defensive plays. You're gonna get a lot of calls from him. Steven Adams, a lot of teams still need a center. He can get you some calls. And then Tyus Jones and sign a trade. We've been seeing a lot of signing trades these past few years. Not a lot of people just signing to a team and dipping. No, it's a lot of signing trades. So you can even get Tyus Jones in a sign trade. They got a lot of avenues they can do. So their future is bright as I don't know what. I think they had the brightest future in the league. It's between them and Luka. Yes, I just said Luka. That's just a generational player. I'm not gonna lie. So I think it's between them, Luka, and probably the Cavs. But other than that, man, that's it for this video, man. A Boston Celtics or a Milwaukee Bucks video will be coming on not Sunday, on Monday. And also behind that, might do a Suns or a Mavs video. Whoever gets eliminated, I'm doing a video of them. That's what we're doing for the rest of the playoffs, breaking down teams' future. So other than that, man, that's it for this video. Peace out.